Hey everybody, welcome back. So recently a company called Funcrecol, which stands for Functional, Creative, and Colorful, reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to test their tough resin. And we're going to test it and we're going to see how tough it is. We're also going to see how nice it prints. To do that, I do have the Getek Alcade printer. I have some of the test pieces for my hammer drop rig ready to go. Ready to go. They're on a stick to be printed. And I also have a little fantasy figurine to print too, just to see how nice it does that kind of stuff. So I have leveled my bed. I'm going to shake this up really good. I'm going to fill it up and we're going to get to printing. Well, I already like Funcrecol and I haven't printed a thing. Their bottle doesn't dribble when you pour. It's a minor thing. They may not have done it on purpose, but I like it. So here's what we're going to print right here. I shook it up real good as you saw, and here we go. This is both that figurine, which is about 60 millimeters tall, and the two hammer drop test pieces. And this is going to be I think it said 6.5 hour print. Parts are done. Let me get them off of the build plate and get all the support off, and we'll clean them up and cure them, and I will show them to you and we'll test that one part. Prints are off and cleaned and cured, so let's take a quick look at them. These, of course, are just the parts I printed for my little hammer drop test. Oops, sorry, let me focus. There we go. These are the parts that are just for the hammer drop test. I don't know why the tops of them turned out different. I'm sure it was probably something I did during the printing process. I use a lot of heavy support because to me the worst thing possible is a failure. I can always sand down rough spots and paint it. To me that's better than a 6-hour print failing halfway through. Anyway, let's take a look at this little figurine. I got this off my mini factory. I'm going to get that focused. And I'm pretty happy with the way that turned out. Again, very heavy support. I tipped it slightly on its back so that the heavy support would be along the back. And I'm one of those guys, I don't have a lot of patience for this. So I tend to take things off fast and rough. And I'm sure that is probably visible in some of the places where you can see I removed it. So I'm very happy with the way this resin printed. I think it just printed super nice. It does seem to have a wee bit of flex to it that I don't see in some other resins. But you know what? The proof is in the hammer drop test. So this is my hammer drop test rig. If you're interested in how I built this and what it consists of, I will put a link in the cards to my playlist for my hammer drop test. It has a chunk of steel weight and an upright and a piece of pipe, so I can raise it by the string and I can put this through just to kind of get the same thing every time. I can put my test piece back here. This piece was ABS, not ABS like a resin, but real ABS filament in an FDM printer. And I can test it. So normally doesn't bounce like that, but this time it did. So let me zoom in close for you. The last test I did was the Getek ABS like resin and this genuine ABS filament off an FDM printer. Now, the ABS like resin didn't fare very well. I dropped this on regular ABS resin. I dropped this chunk of steel bar. I think I did it like 10 times from my highest point. And I'll do it once now to show you. This is the highest point. I think I said this is like 2.5 feet above. And that's going to bounce like that every time now. That's weird. And it took all 10, and there's not even there's a little bit of a marking in it, but it's not anywhere near failing. And this is the one that took 10 hits from before. The ABS like resin, on the other hand, The Getek ABS-like resin, I had two pieces. One piece took one hit from the lowest point, and then the next step up it broke, and the second piece broke on the lowest setting. So let's check this stuff. Let me adjust it so you can see it. I'm going to put my pin in right here. Let's go in from the other side, makes it easier. I'm going to go right there, and let's put a piece in, and let's see if it can take it. Oh, it did. Okay. That was a surprise. I expected it to break it. Let's go up to the next step. There's the next step up. I don't know, is that too high for you to see now? Let's zoom out a little bit so you can see it. And let's see if it breaks on the next one. No, it didn't. This is already way better than the ABS-like resin. Let's go into the third hole. Third hole. Here we go. Took that too. Hole number 4. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. Hole number 4. Took that too. I'll be darned. Oh, that sounded like it broke. Okay, first drop from hole number 5, and it broke that. And it took a chunk out of it. Let's try the other one just to make sure that wasn't a fluke. Let me get the pieces out so it's a fair test. And hole number 1. Yeah, this stuff is fairly tough compared to ordinary resin. Hole number 2. Oh, hole number 2. So you know what? Maybe it's not quite as tough as that first piece let on. So there you go. The Funcrecol tough resin, or toughness resin in gray, seems to print really well and seems to be, you know, a little bit more tough than the ABS-like resin I tested, and certainly a lot tougher than standard resin, and certainly printed real good as well. So I want to say thank you to Funcrecol for sending this out for me to fool around with and to make a fun video with. Thanks to you guys for watching, and I hope Funcrecol is not so mad at me after this video that they will send their new flexible resin out when they get it ready to go. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.